Up. Ah, the dreaded Q&A response. Let's read over that real quick. It's not really patch notes, but I'm more interested in his individual responses to these questions. I think I put one in here too. Do you think he's gonna answer my question? Well, I misspelled have. I said, have we ever had a no market character slot that can only play no market queues like SSF? Even as one queue per map with no gear score, separate queues for solos, duos, trios like a playtest. Few players really like the chance to play solo, self-found, or no market characters. We'll see if he responds. Anyways, let's go over the Q&A. He says, hello everyone. A lot of things have been happening over the last few weeks, so I wanted to post a quick update. The update will not replace the upcoming live Q&A, but I hope it will hold you over till then. Thank you all very much for continued support. I hope it's answered some questions. All right, how has the development process progressed over the past few weeks? Throughout 2024, we've been experimenting with weekly patches to refine the game in our desired direction. However, this led to the decline in patch quality and took a toll on the health of our developers. As we enter 2025, we have focused on restructuring our pipeline to extend the patch cycle. We initially planned to release a patch in the last week of February, 2 weeks after 79. However, we realized the content we were preparing had not reached the level of polish we desired. Instead of rushing a patch, we decided to delay it by a week to ensure better quality. The upcoming patch will include random dungeons for goblins and ruins. Oh boy, random goblin caves should be hell. And ruins? Yeah, ruins and goblin caves random modules should be hell. Along with the new perks and spells for sorcerers, marking completion of sorcerer development. So they're gonna add one burst of perks and spells to sorcerer, and then they're gonna call the class done. Additionally, we have been constantly considering the fact that players with the gear score 0 to 24 make up more than 50% of our player base. We have been working to make the game more suitable for casual players by testing various gear score pools and exploring ways to make dungeon escapes easier, allowing players to achieve at least minimal success. However, this also resulted in a loss of game tension and made the experience feel dull. Absolutely, yes. As a result, we have decided to completely separate the two modes, with high roller mode returning to its original vision. These changes will be included in patch 80, and additional time was needed for adjustments. Okay, so he's saying the reason they delayed patch 80 is because they wanted to change the gear brackets again. With longer patch intervals, can Iron Mace provide more information to help us understand what to expect? This is something we aim to improve in the future. While we do not have any hesitation in communicating, in fact, we can do so frequently and comfortably. However, the issue has been that our messages are not always well organized and tend to be scattered. This is why we have been considering official communications methods such as the tavern table. The challenge is that preparing and managing such communication takes more resources than we initially expected. Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. We will strive to provide more frequent and accurate updates. There have been discussions about recent layoffs. Were they related to the lawsuit? The layoffs were unrelated to the lawsuit. Some dismissals resulted from individuals misusing game patch information for personal benefit outside the company. Others were due to continued negligence despite having been given sufficient time to improve. In some cases, there was simply a misalignment between expectations of the company and the individual. Every layoff had a clear and justified reason. So as you guys know, if you watched the Darkest Hour yesterday, or if you're in my Discord, so they fired Odin. And Odin is the owner of the Darkest Hour podcast. And he was basically their marketing guy. And I think Odin was really well loved in the community. I think basically everybody liked Odin. So that's a big hit. Unfortunate. He made a post. He like said a whole thing about it on the podcast, and he said he's happier now that he's out. He uninstalled Dark and Darker, and he's gonna move on to better things in his life, which I think more power to him. But it is sad to lose Odin. Wait. Oh, sorry. It's Soma. Sorry, it's Soma. Sorry, I told you I'm sleepy. Yeah, anyway, Soma was fired. So it's quite unfortunate. So as you guys also know, Crafton, the company making Dark and Darker Mobile, who licensed the game from Iron Mace, has talked to Iron Mace to separate from Dark and Darker. And I don't know how they did that. I don't know what they paid Iron Mace to buy out like Dark and Darker basically from Iron Mace. But basically, Dark and Darker Mobile is going to be rebranded as something that is not Dark and Darker. Yeah. So Dark and Darker Mobile is going poof. It's going to be a different named game that looks exactly like Dark and Darker, but it's going to be a different named game. Imagine they make Dad Mobile a gacha. I mean, it's already pay to win, so whatever. That's really bad for Dark and Darker, and let me tell you why. Because if you have a mobile game that has more players than the PC game, some of those mobile gamers are going to be like, you know what, I want to try the PC game. But losing all of those all that opportunity for new players is very unfortunate. It's really bad. It's not good. All right, so can Ironmace continue operating despite the lawsuit and mobile contract termination? In the future, we'll try to communicate immediately on these key issues. I think we often miss the time in communication while we're always busy dealing with real problems, making players curious. I don't know what that means. First, regarding the lawsuit, to be clear, the lawsuit does not affect the game service or maintenance. However, it does take up a significant amount of time from me and key team members. We have to review all legal documents prepared by our legal team and law firm. Many of our team members spend substantial time creating or gathering evidence. So this is like an oxymoron, because he says here the lawsuit does not affect the game service or maintenance, and then he says, however, it actually does, because it takes a significant amount of time from me and key team members. Many of the team members spend substantial time creating and gathering evidence. I mean, that's how I read it. Just a total he says one thing and then he immediately says another thing here. I mean, it is what it is, right? We all knew that the lawsuit was going to hinder the game's development. This is not news to me. This too is unrelated to the lawsuit. We are in the process of terminating the contract by mutual agreement at the request of the other party. So Crafton requested to separate from Dark and Darker. This will not result in any losses for us, nor will it impact our game's development and service. So I don't think it will impact the game's development and service, but I do think it will result in loss. If Crafton makes a good extraction game on the phone, everyone's gonna want to play the original, right? How it goes. So they lost that opportunity. Is very unfortunate. Dark and Darker Mobile got free app marketing. Yeah, Dark and Darker Mobile basically won on this deal because they got absolute free marketing. Like they didn't have to build their, like they got the license of the game name. They didn't have to start their own IP from scratch. They basically got the Dark and Darker name, got all their initial players, and now that they have initial players and like positive reviews on the App Store and all that crap, now they just want to separate from Dark and Darker and just the money's all theirs, right? Like it's crazy, right? What a surprise. You know, nobody could have imagined that they would want to do that ever. Unfortunate for Ironmace. I really think this is a huge unfortunate situation for Ironmace. In the future, we will be looking for new mobile partnerships or looking to expand on our own mobile platform, but it's not something we're considering right now. I don't understand this. You had one chance at Dark and Darker Mobile. So because now on the market there is a Dark and Darker mirror game. There's a game that is exactly like Dark and Darker, and now it's no longer called Dark and Darker, and you're not making any money from it. So I don't understand this. I think you kind of gave up on it, right? Like you're just gonna give up on mobile partnerships unless it's gonna be like Dark and Darker Pachinko Extreme or something like that. Something completely different from Dark and Darker gameplay loop. Like Dark and Darker Pals, where you grow your goblins or something, and you breed your goblins to get the perfect goblin to trade it with another goblin connoisseur or something. Money! You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And expand our own mobile platform. I don't think that's going to happen with the current state of the game. Stream sniping has become more common recently. Ironmace is working on a solution to prevent the issue. We are aware that since the introduction of continuous matchmaking, stream sniffing has become worse, contrary to expectations. You didn't think that was going to happen? There are ways to prevent re-entry to the same instance, etc., but this can cause another problem and cannot be easily determined. Continuous matchmaking escape down system adjustments are scheduled, and we think about it so we can solve the problem together in this process. Okay, so this drives me crazy. So Ironmace has said in the past that they have basically a method or a switch to turn off rejoining the same lobby. They already are aware of it and they know how to prevent it. So this is something that Ironmace absolutely can fix. I don't know why they don't do it. Like by now there's no reason to re-enter the same lobby. There's just no reason to re-enter the same lobby. There's not. Right? There's not. I just don't see it. It's a miswording, like they know how to, but the implementation is hard. They said in the past they can do it whenever they want. They said it was like a switch they can flip. So the problem is, instead of saying there is one, I don't know. A lot of people hate continuous matchmaking. They make stream sniping incredibly easy, and you don't even have to be stream sniped. Like they could just sniff. Like you guys have seen the videos on gear sniffing, right? Like Damu did one Peg showed it on his video today. Like you go in the lobby in High Roller on an alternate character with the minimum like gear score for like 200 gold. You die to the first mob you see, and then you spectate everyone to see if there's anything on them that you want, like a named item or something really expensive. Once you find it, then you swap to a character that you have geared and ready that counters them, and you just go into the same dungeon. And if it's not the same dungeon, you just extract and keep trying until you get into the same dungeon. And if you don't, oh well, you try again, right? But if you do, now you hard counter the person you're hunting and you run at them, right? Oh god, it's so cringe. One thing about CMMS, the fast queues, no map rotations. Yeah, we just have too many queues, man. That's why map rotation exists in the first place. Is it too legendary 200s to get into 225s? I'm not sure. Cheaters seem to be more prevalent recently. Can we expect improvements in this area? Cheaters have always been prevalent in Dark and Darker. Cheaters have always been prevalent in Dark and Darker. The problem in Dark and Darker is at the end of the wipe, when there's less legitimate people playing, cheaters become worse because you see more of them. The average cheaters per player rate is much higher. We've been researching a system that allows player community to help isolate cheaters. And this research is nearly complete. With development now, it is in its early stage. So they want to do like a player review system, it seems. Conceptually, the system is related to adjusting the weight of a player's reports based on the report success rate, i.e. how often their reports lead to bans or being outlawed. Additionally, our proprietary anti-cheat program Iron Shield has made significant progress and is currently undergoing testing on our internal QA server. Will soon be applied to the live servers. We have also been researching AI integration to enhance anti-cheat efficiency over the past few months, and we have reached a stage where we believe it is viable for implementation. AI anti-cheat, man, there's gonna be a lot of false bans, I think. While we cannot disclose all the details, we're actively developing and improving these systems with passion, and we expect them to lead to better results. We will do our best. Yeah, I don't know about the anti-cheat thing. I mean, obviously you have cheaters still playing and streaming the game. It was a big example of that. It took like 3 different times to get him banned finally. And we'll see if he just makes an alt account and starts streaming again. Like, you never know. These people really have a habit of just showing up again. It's so fucking, it's cringe, bro. It's turbo cringe. It's awful, man. But it is what it is, right? Flashbacks to life after death sentence. Can you expect anything to freshen or liven up the current wipe? Wait, yeah. Any exciting events or ways to bring players back? Well, first High Roller mode will return being a hardcore experience. I don't know what that means. No one knows what this means, so we can only guess until patch 80. A new arena season is also planned to launch during the current season to test fixes for the arena MMR issues. What do you think, guys? You think we're going to be getting arena rewards before this new season comes out in like one patch? Because, I mean, there's a lot of people that work real hard to hit Warlord. We don't really see any rewards, do we? Once the sorcerer update is complete, we'll finally be able to adjust the game's core mechanics. All right, I've heard that before, but sure. The first targets will be bunny hopping and movement speed, so they're going to remove bunny hopping. Finally. It only took us 6+ months. I don't know what they're going to do with movement speed. We'll have to see how they do that. And also, they said something in response to a question earlier that made me concerned about bunny hopping too. Like they're gonna remove jump casting altogether, which is not a big deal. We have wanted to address these issues for a long time, but had to wait for the right timing. No hotspot mentioned yet. Unfortunately, nothing new may happen this season. Oh, so we're not gonna do bunny hopping and move speed this season. So we're preparing the next season at the same time. Make sure this season doesn't get too boring. In closing, in Korea, we have slowly become engaging with the media. While overseas, we have relied mainly on Discord and random podcasts. This has led to information asymmetry depending on the communication channel. To resolve this, we'll do our best to ensure that all regions receive information simultaneously through more balanced communication efforts. So I imagine probably within a couple months, Fighter might actually get a jetpack and a gun. Something like that. They'll probably also have a skill that makes them immune to damage for 12 seconds. Something along that line. I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing, right? Also, Fighter will start to be able to dual wield Demon's Glees and probably use the jetpack in tandem with Sprint and get a third skill slot. Fighter gonna be able to transform into animals, yeah. Fighter's gonna have a perk called Animorphs, where he pulls out an Animorphs book and turns into a garden snake or something. Triple wield Demon's Glee, yeah. Second win, 5 charge. Second win is 40% healing instantly. Got 5 charges. Try to be able to tackle you and box you on the floor. Fulgor and base gate, yeah. What about something like a barbarian whirlwind ability? You can already do that. You just move your mouse while swinging. Yeah. I gotta dig it out of Fighter chat. I posted it there earlier. I was finding a quote from SDF before. We have a lot of exciting updates planned for this season. Prepare for the inaugural season of the arena with a full ranking system and rewards. We also plan to augment the religion system to offer more incentives to donate to a god of your choice. Now that we have a better handle on the item balance, we look forward to finally improving the versatility. The character builds with some big changes. We thank you for your support and see you in the dungeons. So basically what I'm trying to say here, they said the season of the arena was going to have rewards and everything, but I don't know, man. Surely they wouldn't say that we're getting rewards for arena and then just not do it, right? I think this is from the announcement channel, by the way. Yeah, there hasn't been that many updates since the beginning of the season. Holy shit, that's crazy. Yeah, I'll be pretty sad if they don't release any arena rewards, especially after like everybody grinded so hard to get it. Well, there you go. That's the vision, I guess, or something. Not really sure. I wouldn't call it division, but I don't know what I would call it really. Make each reward 1 gold coin. Rip. GG. All right. Play some Monster Hunter.